The journey of Hajj begins on the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, also known as the day of Tarwiyah, during which pilgrims adopt the Ihram and make their intention for Hajj before making their way to Mina. The 9th of Dhul Hijjah is the day of Arafat, a day unlike any other, when the skies open with mercy and hearts overflow with hope. It is the most important day of Hajj. Pilgrims gather at the plains of Arafat, standing in devotion, raising their hands in prayer. From Dhuhr to Maghrib, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam stood in worship, making dua continuously, pouring out his heart to Allah. On this day, Dhuhr and Asr prayers are combined and shortened, leaving the rest of the time for what matters most, which is dua. This is the day that can change your destiny. The day of Arafat, when sins are forgiven, prayers are answered, and lives are transformed. As the sun sets on Arafat, the journey continues. The pilgrims make their way to Muzdalifah, a sacred valley under the open sky. There is no roof, no walls, only the stars above and the earth below. Here, the pilgrims will pray Maghrib and Isha combined, rest briefly, and collect their pebbles, stones that will be used for the stoning of the Jamarat. This is a night of reflection, of silence, of submission. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam spent the night here, resting on the bare ground and teaching us humility of Hajj. In Muzdalifah, there are no distractions, just you and your Lord. A night to remember, a night to prepare your soul for what lies ahead. The journey continues. It continues to Mina, where pilgrims perform one of the most symbolic rites of Hajj, the stoning of the Jamarat. Here, with 7 pebbles in hand, each pilgrim stands before the pillars, and with every throw, they declare their rejection of evil. Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. With each stone, they follow the footsteps of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who cast away shaitan, resisting his whispers with faith and obedience. This is more than a ritual. It's a declaration, a personal battle against temptation, against the ego, against everything that distances us from Allah. The Jamarat remind us that shaitan will always try to mislead, but the believer always rises. With each stone cast, the soul is cleansed and the heart is renewed. After the days in Mina and the stoning at Jamarat, the pilgrims return to Mecca to continue their Hajj. They begin with tawaf, walking around the Kaaba 7 times. It's a moment of peace and connection, a chance to remember Allah and reflect on the journey so far. Following tawaf, pilgrims perform sa'i, walking between the hills of Safa and Marwa 7 times. This action honors the story of Hajar, may peace be upon her, who searched for water with her son Ismail, may peace be upon him, with complete trust in Allah. These final acts are simple, yet meaningful. They remind us of patience, trust, and the reward of turning to Allah in every moment. With this, the major rites of Hajj are complete. It is now the 11th of Dhul Hijjah, the 2nd day of Tashriq. After Fajr, pilgrims make their way once again to Mina to perform the stoning at the 3 Jamarat, al-Jamrat al-Sughra, al-Wusta, and al-Kubra. 7 small stones are thrown at each pillar, with Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, as a declaration said at each throw. This act symbolizes the continued rejection of shaitan and a commitment to staying firm in faith. The stoning is done with calm reflection and purpose. Following the example of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. After stoning, pilgrims return to their tents in Mina, spending the day in worship, prayer and remembrance of Allah. The days of Tashriq are a time to remain patient, grateful and mindful, completing the Hajj with humility and devotion. The 12th of Dhul Hijjah is the third day of Tashriq. Once again, pilgrims proceed to the 3 Jamarat, beginning with Jamarat al-Sughra, followed by al-Wusta, and ending with al-Jamarat al-Kubra. At each pillar, they throw 7 pearls, saying Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, with every stone. This is the final reminder of the believer's resistance to temptation and the commitment to obeying Allah, just as Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam did. After completion of the stoning on this day, most pilgrims prepare to leave Mina before the sun sets, marking the near end of their Hajj journey. For those who choose to stay one more night, the stoning will continue on the 13th of Dhul Hijjah. The 13th of Dhul Hijjah, the final and an optional day of stoning for those who remained in Mina. Pilgrims once again head to the 3 Jamarat, Jamarat al-Sughra, al-Wusta and al-Kubra, throwing 7 pebbles at each pillar while saying Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. This concludes the last stoning rituals, following the example of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. As the final step of Hajj, pilgrims perform Tawaf al-Wida, the farewell Tawaf. Before leaving Mecca, they circle the Kaaba 7 times as a way of saying goodbye to the sacred house. There is no sa'i and no additional rituals, just the final Tawaf, done with calm and reflection. It is a time to thank Allah for the opportunity to complete Hajj and to leave Mecca with a heart full of gratitude. Tawaf al-Wida marks the end of the pilgrimage, but the lessons and memories of Hajj stay with the pilgrim for a lifetime.